What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan. Hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your patience for my reactions throughout this week. They've kind of been hit and miss here and there. But because of my eye injury, I'm happy to say that my eye is on a road to a full recovery. Today is the first day I've really been able to be completely out of the patch the entire day. My vision is mostly returned, minus a little bit of ghosting that still exists, a little bit of double vision when I'm like in darkness with lights, and that will go away over the next week or two as my eye finishes healing. So, with that said, it is time for Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, episode 8, titled Cultural Festival 2. In our last episode, of course, we got to see Shikimori in her adorable animal outfit, and obviously it was a lot more wholesomeness between Izumi and Shikimori, and really his friends were just amazing. Hachimitsu and her wanting to do this random 360 rotation of her arm, just freaky stuff, and a lot of great stuff. However, we have finally arrived at what I suspect is going to be a pain point and something that I'm going to be really sad to see in this episode. So we were introduced to Kamiya. We've been introduced before, but we got to really see a lot about her personality, the type of person she is. We now know that 2 years in a row, Kamiya and Izumi have been on duty with each other in the library, and she definitely has a certain level of respect and admiration for Izumi. And I believe that some of that admiration is definitely romantic feelings, which brings us to this episode. First off, because of the color of her hair and her dynamic, we already know that she was just going to lose by default because, you know, these type of girls always get cupped. And obviously in a show like this, I don't want anything coming in the way of Izumi and Shikimori. They have such a wonderful dynamic that obviously nothing should stand in the way of their relationship being able to blossom. But that doesn't mean you can't help but feel bad. And Kamiya seems to be a really nice girl, a really good girl, a girl that if this was any other show and circumstances and we didn't have Shikimori in the show, I would absolutely be rooting for her and Izumi to be together just from her performance last episode. So I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of pain this episode. One of the reasons is because we now know, as we saw at the end of the episode, that the matching numbers, that they're supposed to go take pictures and stuff like that. Shikimori realized that the matching number wasn't on the board, but the person who has the matching number for Izumi is none other than Kamiya. So with that said, pain is inbound. But we have to get through this to be able to proceed with the rest of the show. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get this started. Again, the title is Cultural Festival 2. Also, no rankings for Shikimori this week via Anime Corner, the site that I use for all of my reactions. Even though it's never cracked the top 10, I still kind of take a look to see where it's at. And there was a technical error, probably because of the delay in the previous episode, and we're about to have another delay this week that caused their poll to not bring in the show. So they said that you will be able to vote on the show this coming week, and I'm interested to see how things are going to go after this cultural festival arc. If we have any chance of this show cracking top 10 again, this episode will probably be it. So let's go ahead for whatever's about to come from this. I'm not going to be happy seeing Kamiya upset, but let's go ahead and get this started. In 3, 2, 1. Oh no, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me this episode. My eye has to heal. I can't. Oh no. Oh, come on, bruh. They gonna do this to us. They gonna do this to me. They gonna do this to me. Well, this episode's going to be suffering. Kamiya, if Shikimori wasn't a character in the show, you gonna find your happiness, girl. You gonna find your happiness. Oh my goodness. We the community rooting for you. Damn, man. This about to suck. I was not ready for that. Oh man. Devin, see her in the opening with Shikimori and her being across from each other. Oh, come on. Oh no. Remain calm, right? Let it ride out. You're gonna find your happiness, girl. Sadly, you were too late in this situation, but it's okay. Uh-oh. I'm so conflicted with. In no way Shikimori doesn't. It's no one. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. You can. It's just so much loneliness that she feels inside, and she's. I'm so sorry, Kamiya. Oh my goodness. Oh no. You've done nothing wrong. Shikimori's done nothing wrong. No one's done anything wrong. That. Oh no. I mean, you. Oh, oh no. She. 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 She realized. No way she didn't. I knew she wasn't dumb. Oh no. Of course, it's my right eye tearing up. Fuck my life. Because Shikimori's a good person too. No one's wrong. No, and she's so good. She's not even she's not even thinking that way because she's a it's the reason why Shikimori and them are together. But she wouldn't even be happy with that. Oh, come on. No one's even thinking of it like that. You've done nothing wrong, Kamiya. You've done nothing wrong. This is not what would make her happy either, Kamiya. That's. No one's at fault. You are a hella kind person. You will definitely get your happiness, Kamiya. 100%. And Shikimori is just a hell of a good person right now. I mean, she's always been, but especially right now. This is how you handle this. Because you deserved it. I'm blown away by what just happened in this episode, guys. If this doesn't get Shikimori back into the top 10 this season, nothing will. I gotta prepare for the rest of the episode. And I can't hit this eye. They ranked 8th. It's alright, yo. Won by a mile. Shikimori did. If only y'all knew. If only y'all know what Shikimori did. That is the way that you handle that type of situation. And I can't begin to say the level of maturity and care that she showed in that situation. All the more reason why I know that Izumi and Shikimori being together are absolutely perfect. But because Shikimori didn't have to do that. She showed maturity way over her years. That's all I got to say. Oh. I said I won't go cry this episode. I said I won't go cry this episode. She probably feels so much guilt. Oh no, and nothing's been done wrong. You did nothing wrong. It's just because I know she feels guilt. Love is a terrible thing, bro. Sometimes. If only you know what we just went through in this episode. I hate. And you better not. And how you handled that, I'm all for it. Because you have no idea what we went through this episode, man. This was the best episode of the show. Oh my god, I am not okay. I am not okay. If Kamiya ever gets a figure, I will buy all her merch in her honor after what just transpired in this episode. Oh my goodness. We just watched the best episode of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie this season. Not only did we just watch the best episode of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie this season. Out of all the episodes that came out this week, I think this is my favorite episode this week, and may actually take my number one for the first time this whole season. Yes, over my Kaguya-sama episode, barely, because that was golden too. And yes, over Data Live, and marginally over Spy X Family. I think that this will be the one week that I have to. I've been preparing myself for about a week. I could just tell, even though we had had such little interaction up to this point, when you write a character so well that sometimes you only need an episode or two to really bring the audience in, to really captivate the audience, to make it very passionate and wonderful, and just making it so that we will love a character even if they've only been on screen for a couple of minutes. I feel so bad for Kamiya. She's a good fucking person. And everyone in this show is a good person. And you knew Shikimori, there's no way, because she knows how she felt about Izumi. So she can easily tell when another girl is heads over heels and is holding it back. She could tell the moment she asked to change it, what she had did, that she didn't have a right to do that was, and then even after she was given the couple's number, that it would have been an insult to the situation to do something. Her, the girl who already has gotten the man of her dreams up to this point, she didn't have to do that. And there are many animes and many non-animes where people would not have handled it in that situation. They would have done something childish like, eyeing them, spying on them from a corner, being very possessive, things of that nature. She could have easily got in the middle of them. But she didn't, because Shikimori's a good person too. And every single person in that triangle is a good person. Izumi's a good person. Shikimori's a good person. Kamiya is a good person. And no one wanted to cause sabotage or harm to one another. And so Shikimori did the only thing that could be done in that situation. She did not let it drag. She confronted her about it, and what transpired after she confronted her about it was one of the best scenes that I've watched out of the shows I'm watching this season. I am so proud of how Shikimori handled that situation. I am so proud of Kamiya for being able to take that head on, and to be able to find the maturity and the strength to accept that, unfortunately, sometimes it does not work out the way you want. Love is a terrible thing. Love is a hard thing sometimes. It's a beautiful thing, but it can also be really hard and frustrating when you're the one on the losing end. And there is no doubt in my mind that if Shikimori did not come first and Kamiya had been the head of this show, I would have equally loved this show because of how wonderful, how soothing. Yes, she's a competitive person, but Kamiya's personality is so soothing. It's so wonderful. It's refreshing. And I've said that again about Shikimori and Izumi. It's such refreshing personalities that we're seeing in this show. And I'm so proud of how that situation was handled. It was just absolutely amazing, and I'm still fucking crying about it. And I knew it was going to be a rough episode, and it was, but we got a very fitting, proper, mature conclusion. None of that stalkerish BS or all the other nonsense that we tend to see. Just wholesome two teenagers in school figuring out their love, figuring out their how they feel about themselves, about others, just being mature. Honestly, they were more mature than many adults that I know in real life are if they were faced with a situation like this. So Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie was probably my top episode for this week. I am very, 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 very impressed with what happened. I could just sit here for hours telling y'all how impressed, and just no yelling, no throwing things, just impressed. This was a good episode. This was a masterful episode. And I'm going to use masterful for the first time this season with this show. Masterful. This is a 10 out of 10 episode. If this does not get Shikimori back in the top 10, nothing will, and I disagree with the community. And I'm just going to have to die on that hill. I'm going to completely disagree with the community. I think that this show from episode 1 has achieved everything it set out to do, and this episode proved I was not wrong. At the end of everyone's pride, at the end of how pretty a person is, we have good people talking to each other, making things right. And in the end, when Shikimori ripped up the piece of paper, something she didn't have to do, the layers of maturity was just unreal. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And obviously, the end of the episode was just the icing on the cake, because you could tell that Shikimori realized that, people are hurt, unfortunately, by her being with him. And having to see her cry, I knew that was going to affect her, because now she probably feels guilt that she got in the middle of someone who also is just a good person. And I hope that won't affect her too hard as we go about the rest of this season. So, with that said, phenomenal job to the studio, to the author, whoever wrote this entire segment. This is how this type of situation should be handled every time, with tact, with maturity, and just respect. And there's nothing more I can say. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching this reaction. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this show. So with that said, thank you for watching. If you did like this reaction, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction goes live, hit the bell icon. I think we can go into the end of this week in knowing that we just watched the best episode of this show. And for those of us who have continued this path with this show, even when everyone else dropped it, I think we all earned an amazing episode this week. So with that said, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. I'll catch you guys next week in another reaction. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, hopefully without me crying the whole episode. With that said, you guys take care. Have a good rest of your day.